Right, so I'm starting this video off like this because I'm an amateur and I forgot to record an actual intro. It's been my first week back since coming back from holiday. Oh, it's been an absolute hellish week, to be really honest with you. I had some amount of new people phone me. I've had previous customers obviously phone me. It's just been difficult to keep everybody happy this week. Most weeks I get by, no bother. But it's just been extra difficult this week trying to keep people happy, and I've just came to the conclusion that you can't do it. That is what it is. I'm out walking the dog now, by the way, in case you're wondering what I'm looking at. But it's just been a difficult week. A good week for fixing things, a bad week for dealing with new customers, because they don't understand that you've got a full week's worth of work already booked. They want squeezed in last minute, and you know you're probably never going to see them again after you do it for months, you know. So it's just trying to keep people happy, but I can't. So in this video we have got two Land Rovers. I want to say both of them are discoveries. Honestly, can't remember what the first one is. I think the first one is an Evoque. I think both of them might be an Evoque. It's funny enough, somebody says in the comments slagging us off, why do you never know what car you're working on? I don't know, it seems to be a thing for most people that record their jobs. You can say that they're working on a Fiesta and they're working on a Focus. Or you can say they're working on a Skoda Fabia and it's a Skoda Yeti, just like I done in my last video. I don't know why that is. I think they're just at the time not really thinking, but it's two Land Rovers, both with CAN faults. So hopefully this video will be interesting. We're going to be using the scope on it. Also, very soon, hopefully maybe next week, we'll have the Mixig. It's the new automotive oscilloscope coming to us. We are going to do some sort of collaboration with Mixig. I do like their scopes. I bought the ATO 1104 probably about 5 years ago, and it's been a brilliant scope. Still got it in the van, but bring a new one out and they're going to send us it through to do a little video on. Hopefully that'll be next week. So see how things plan out. For now, we have got two Evoques with CAN faults, so let's crack on with the video. Right, so this is a Discovery Sport that we're looking at, and this is going to be a quick voiceover. So if you look there, you can see we've got our chassis CAN is all greyed out. You can see there they're all greyed out: power steering control module, all-wheel drive control module. So what we're looking at now on the scope is when I'm manoeuvring a part of the loom, you can see the network is shorting out. And then move it again, it's going up and down, it's doing all the stuff that it shouldn't be doing, and it's in a particular area. And there we go, we've got a loom down. Now what had actually happened was it was jammed in between there, and you can see where it's been shortened. You see that tiny little blue wire there? So our two chassis CAN wires are blue and green and blue. So basically the blue and the green was shortened on the frame behind there, and that's obviously the reason why it was pulling the loom up and down, and you could see the change on the laptop. Now if I plug this back in, before we didn't have any flashing symbols on 13 and where am I? 12. We didn't have any communication or actual LEDs flashing, so if I plug this back in, which I'm going to try and do with one hand, well, you can see the plug's actually damaged. So I've now plugged that back in, and if I turn the ignition on, you can see 13 and 12, which is our chassis CAN network, is back online. And also if we go across there, you can see our actual CAN network's back up and running the way it should. So there we are. a little wire right there that was shorting against the actual frame. Crazy. Now looking at our wiring diagram on HGS data, you can see our network basically on 16.6. So pin 16 and 6, that's coming out our gateway, and this is a connector here that was that we were manoeuvring. So basically, as soon as we manoeuvred this connector, our network kind of came back to kind of semi-normal. But of course, when we put it back in the position that it was in originally, it was shorting against the frame, so that's why the network was completely dead. So yeah, there we go. This is on HGS data, by the way, if you want to go and give them a look, or if you want to get a trial. There is a link in the description with a discount code MAD, so you need to put that in the inquiry box in order to get a small discount on HGS data. There's a little close-up. That is amazing. So we will strip them apart, do a repair, make sure it's taped up and it's not going to rub on anything again, and we'll start it up, see if we've got anything else that we need to look at. So there we go, there's the repair. Once that's back in position, it won't even look as if anybody's been in there. So I just need to put the plug back, put the carpet back over where it's meant to be, and we'll start this thing up and see how it is. Now the only thing left to try is make sure that we've got communication with our chassis modules. So we're going to click Smart Scan. Perfect, so we've got communication with our ABS, all-terrain control module. Looks like everything is back online. Is our power steering. Yep, our power steering is back online as well. So we'll need to see how many of these will clear. May as well just do a system clear while we're rolling with the video here. I'm just going to click clear DTCs. Everything seems to be clearing, which is amazing. We've got one in gateway, which there's always something in gateway anyway, to be honest, on Land Rovers. Just see what we've got in gateway. Crescent relay box, not worried about that happens all the time. Apart from that, everything else is perfect. The first start up, here we go. Power steering is back. Airbag lights off, ABS lights are off, power steering, everything is working. Happy days. Oh, that is this one done. There we go, can fault on a Land Rover, sorry, what is this thing, a Discovery? Discovery Sport. And welcome back to the channel everybody. So today's video we are working on a Range Rover, it's an Evoque, and it's got very intermittent, what I suspect, can faults. Now I'll just show you what's going on the dash. The dash right now is lit up like a Christmas tree. The only downside with this fault is it is intermittent. If I turn the ignition on, the ignition off and switch it back on and start it, it won't do it again until a little bit of a drive. But we're going to try and at least get this one diagnosed, see how we get on. Let's get set up. Firstly, I'll show you the health report that we've saved, and we'll get the scope set up with the breakout box as well. We'll see what's happening with each CAN network. Right, so I should have said before, just ignore all of this. None of this was stripped by myself. I came here and it was like this. Let me close the door. So we're looking at HGS data and we've got a diagram up. Now intermittently when you drive this, the powertrain can goes down, so the powertrain can on this at the OBD is pin 12 and 13. Now just down here you can see you've got my breakout box there hooked up to 12 and 13, and I've got it on the ground of the DLC as well. Now basically what happens is this can sit here absolutely fine, run no problem. As soon as you drive it, that's when something happens. Now, what I've figured out here while connecting the scope up is when you drive it and you turn the steering at a slight angle, you can see the network drop. Now, obviously that shouldn't be happening. So when the network drops out, the dash lights up like a Christmas tree, and our network, obviously, we lose communication with a multitude of modules on the CAN network. You'll need to excuse me, I'm absolutely sweating, boiling out here today. So this is why it's been such a hard fault for people to catch. It's because basically it's very intermittent and it's only influenced by me turning the steering, and the only way that you can see that is by using a scope. Fault codes aren't going to help you. All you're going to get is high-speed communication fault codes, or you're going to get missing communication, offline modules, you name it. So the scan tool isn't going to help you in any way. It's just obviously the scope. When you're monitoring the scope, you can see that the CAN network is dropping out. Now obviously we've got 3 different networks at the DLC. We've got the powertrain, infotainment and mid-speed. High-speed network is dropping out, and that communicates with the likes of your SRS, Haldex, ABS, you name it, a bunch of modules that are on the vehicle. So when the network drops out, it affects obviously the communication, and that's why we've got loads of lights on, but still to find the fault. What I'm going to do is just show you what I mean. So if I keep you on the scope, what I'm going to do is start it up. So the vehicle's running right now, fault free. The steering is almost, apart from being a little negative, in a straightforward position. Now what I'm going to do is go on to the menu here, the Picoscope screen here, and I'm just going to turn the steering. Right, did you see that there? So this dropout right here is why this vehicle is doing what it's doing. You can see the network is what spaghetti. It's not what you want to see on a good CAN network. So that is how you trace it. Obviously I've probably made this look a bit more simple than what CAN networks can be quite confusing sometimes. But this right here is a issue. Now what I've got to do is find out why it's dropping out. Now my first kind of area that I'm going to check is round about the steering rack, just because you've got moving objects there, just to see if that's maybe the reason, maybe something's shorting out or something like that, who knows. But right now all we can really do is a visual. We've confirmed that the network is dropping out. It's just a case of visually inspecting by the steering basically. It's always good when you find something that's been such a pain to actually find before me, so aye, I'll show you what it is. Now, look at this. If you have a little look in there at the loom, can you see that? So if I turn the steering, you can see the loom is chaffing on the steering knuckle. And sometimes it's just about putting 2 and 2 together. We knew that when we were driving it, the warning would come on. But when I put the scope on it and I was just ready to set off on a road test, I turned the steering probably around about maybe 5-10 degrees to the right, and I noticed the network dropping. So basically what was happening was that the network was shorting on the steering knuckle, the steering UJ. So when we were turning the steering, it was just making contact, shorting out the network, and that's why we were getting the lights on very, very intermittently. But just to show you what's actually happening here, so I'm going to manipulate that wiring harness, and I'll give you a view of the scope. So let's zoom in a wee bit. What I'm going to do is just manipulate that harness near where the UJ is. So you see that drop out right there? I'm just going to try that again once it refreshes. There we go, we've got a couple of, there we go, dropouts. So it's shorting the network. That's why we're getting all these warning lights on the dash. And that right there is the money shot. You can see just the exposed bit there. It's been rubbing on the steering. Happy days. So let's get that taped up. Oh sorry, repaired and taped up. And we'll take it for another run. So it's now been on a road test and everything is perfect. I'm just putting on a scan quickly, just to read and clear the fault codes. So we're just going to do a smart scan, just going to shut that door. You can see we've got loads of faults there from the past. You can see our network still rolling in the background there as well. We'll just show you turning the steering right hand lock that it no longer drops out on the scope. Once we're done with this, quite a lot of faults. Just going to click clear. Now this video is going to be a wee bit short, just using just doing this one. So I'm hoping I've still got another Land Rover with a network fault from maybe a couple of months back. I'm going to stick on this video as well, so hopefully it'll make it a wee bit longer. So we have got IPMA, something to do with configuration. That's not relevant to our last fault. Front right seat heater, again not relevant. So let's start the car up and we'll just turn the steering again. So I'm going to turn the steering now. You can see we're not getting any shorts in the network. So that's perfect. So that's how we've managed to find this very intermittent CAN network fault on this Range Rover Evoque. So that is going to be the end of this one. Leave the customer to get all this built back up. Obviously we didn't strip it anyway, but the customer's going to get all built back up. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Remember, click that like, share and subscribe button. Comment down below if you get any questions, and I'll catch you on the next one.